Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome back. A quick fun live that I wanted to do today, and that's really just kind of dive into the Nothing Phone 1 while my dogs are barking again as usual. Nothing Phone 1, and I'm going to compare it to my Pixel 8a, but I'm actually going to show you guys specifications between them, and also share my experience about that. And then I forgot to mention in yesterday's live stream, so I will do it in this live stream today. But I'm going to share with you guys, those that use TikTok, I will share with you guys an alternative. Those that are worried about maybe TikTok shutting down, because of the ban and everything like that. Something very similar. If you're into the short form content / ADHD content consuming. I will talk to you guys about Clapper, which is an app source that pretty much in every way embodies TikTok in so many ways. So the experience is very, very, very similar, but we'll get into that a little bit later. If you guys want to try out Helium Mobile, down below, you guys see that QR code right there. Scan that. That will get you guys to the sign up page for Helium Mobile. Go through the sign up process and use my promo code found in the description. That will get you guys your first month for free to try them out and see how it works out for you. Helium Mobile, basically, probably one of the best values in prepaid MVNO currently today. It's one of the only ones actually that pays you to map their services. So showing where you go, where you move around, you earn crypto by doing that. And you could use that crypto to pay your bill, essentially making your phone bill free. Or, even going as far as, trading with different other cryptos or cashing out for money, whichever you choose. So, give Helium Mobile a shot. If you're interested, try them out. Could be a great phone, could be a great backup phone, could be a great phone service for, your kids, teenagers, whatever the case may be. Go check it out. But anyways, so let's kind of get started. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the site that I am going to have all these specifications set up for you guys so you guys can see what I'm seeing. Let me get these things out of the way. Here you guys go. All right. Okay, so I have all the specifications pulled up for 3 phones that I'm actually going to be comparing. Okay, so I'm going to be comparing the Nothing Phone 1, which is my current daily driver device, and I've had such great experience with. Also, my Pixel 8a is, a great device out there that you shouldn't really sleep on. Yo, what up, man? What's going on? Radiant Switch Tech. So I'll be talking about the Pixel 8a, which I also have, and then a phone that I'm very interested in getting, which is the CMF Phone 1. So I'm going to go through all the specifications of these phones for those who are like spec junkies, but then I'm also going to tell you guys my experience with the Nothing Phone 1 and how I feel about it against my Pixel 8a, which, for the longest time, people have known that I've been a big backer of the Google Pixels. Been very big on them. From before they started gaining all the popularity, before all the sudden changes of the body design that has, had people gravitate towards them. So anyways, the Nothing Phone 1, all its specs on the left, the Pixel 8a in the middle, and the CMF phone on the right, just for extra measure. I'm not going to go into the, the body of the phone type, dimensions and everything like that. Well, we'll start off with the display here. All right. So the Nothing Phone 1, basically, it's an OLED panel, 120 hertz, HDR10 plus. You got 1200 nits of peak brightness, 6.5 inch display. Resolution is 1080 by 2400 pixels at a 20 by 9 aspect ratio. That's 402 pixels per inch density. Okay, so here's the crazy thing about that. It shows ultra wideband as the logo, but it's not Verizon that's in the Nothing Phone. I don't know why it shows that, to let you know that it is on a more, I guess you could say, premium 5G connection. because the SIM card that's in my Nothing Phone 1 is my Metro by T-Mobile. Okay, so instead of it showing 5G ultra capacity, it shows 5G ultra wideband. If you were to put Verizon in the Nothing Phone 1, you're only going to pick up LTE. And that's just because it's not supported on Verizon. Even, talking with my friends at Mobile X, the expert care team, to kind of see if like maybe whitelisting the phone would get some sort of, network acceptance. It will not accept the Nothing Phone 1. So that's sad. Yeah, it's just, I don't know why, it just shows ultra wideband. Rather than it saying UC for ultra capacity, it just shows UWB. And that could largely be due to the fact that the Nothing Phone 1 was not built for US carriers. Okay. I know that they had like a very small window where they allowed US customers to buy the Nothing Phone 1, but when the Nothing Phone originally launched, it was not really made to be compatible with US telco companies, even though it can, because T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, they have certain NR bands that are the same around the world, right? So I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe I'll post on X at Carl Pay and ask him why it says ultra wideband. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that. But no, Verizon, you're only gonna pick up LTE. So sad to say that, but I mean that is it. So if someone has Verizon, I wouldn't recommend them getting the Nothing Phone 1. Now I don't know about the Nothing Phone 2. I haven't bought that phone, and it's really hard to find. I mean, I could order it and have it shipped to me, but I don't live in the best neighborhood in Phoenix, and so I don't like phones being delivered to me, because if I have things to do and I cannot be at home waiting for the phone to arrive, there's a lot of drunks around here, and they will snatch that box and that phone will be gone. Yeah, Carl Pay is the CEO. That's what I was talking about. That I should post on X to Carl Pay. Anyways, but I did find somebody on OfferUp that lives here in Phoenix that has a Nothing Phone 2A, which is their I guess their mid-range line. But the Nothing Phone 1 is a mid-range phone. So let me just put that out there for people to understand. It's not a flagship phone. It's not what Nothing declares as their flagship phone. It was their entry phone into the mobile phone market. It has mid-range specs, as you guys are going to see here, as I kind of share that in this this site from gsmarena.com. But yeah. So anyways, like I was saying, with the display, 20 by 9 aspect ratio, 402 pixels per inch density, according to Gorilla Glass 5 is for the display, right? The Pixel 8a at a 6.1 inch display, it's an OLED panel, HDR 120 hertz with 2000 nits of peak brightness. You got a 20 by 9 aspect ratio at 430 pixels per inch density, according to Gorilla Glass 3. Both have always on display. And just for good measure, the CMF Phone 1, right? So not the Nothing Phone 1, but the CMF, which is a unique phone from Nothing. So it's like their sister company. But anyways, that one 6.67 inch display. It's an AMOLED, 120 hertz, 2000 nits peak brightness, 1080 by 2400 pixels, 20 by 9 aspect ratio at 395 pixels per inch. Doesn't say exactly if it's Corning Gorilla Glass. Has no information on that, but all three support always on display. If Nothing phones supported the real 5G ultra wideband Verizon, I would buy it. Like I said, I don't know if the Nothing Phone 2 supports it. I mean, you could probably check other creators that have the Nothing Phone 2 and may have used it on Verizon and see if it was able to be supported. What up, B-Tech? What's going on, bro? But as far as the Nothing Phone 1, I know it does not work on Verizon's 5G. Basically, you're only gonna connect to LTE. Which is kind of crazy, because let's look real quick. They gotta show you what bands the Nothing Phone 1 supports. So do they show it? Probably not. Let's open up another window here real quick. Let's see if just on its own they show like what bands the Nothing Phone 1 supports. It does not show there. There we go. Nothing Phone 1 supports 5G bands 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 20, 28, 38, 40, 41, 77, and 78. And that's standalone, non-standalone. For 4G bands, it supports 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 17, 18, 19, 20, 26, 28, 32, 34, 38, 39, 40, 41, and 66. So it does what it looks like is, and the reason I guess that Verizon won't support the Nothing Phone 1 is that it does not support millimeter wave. That's probably why. Yeah. For LTE, no, it's got band 1 and 2. It just doesn't have band 13. It has 12, 17, 18, 19. It doesn't have band 13. And for 5G, it's only 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 20, 28, 38, 40, 41, 77, and 78. Right? So no N70, so no support for Dish. It won't pick up on Dish's Rainbow Sim. Yeah. But that would definitely be the reason why. So currently at work on break, sneaking up on YouTube while you're on break at work, dude. That's crazy. Anyways, going on comparing the Nothing Phone 1 to the Pixel 8a. The Nothing Phone 1 doesn't support band 13. Oh, you're saying that it doesn't support band 13 on the Nothing Phone 1 or 2. I got it. I thought you meant it didn't have bands 1 or 2. My bad. Yeah. It doesn't. So that's why Verizon won't support them. Also, it doesn't have millimeter wave, and I know that that's something that Verizon's heavily invested on is millimeter wave. So yeah, they're not gonna make it support it. They're not gonna add support for it on as a bring your own device, which is totally fine. It works good on AT&T, I can tell you that. It works good on T-Mobile, so I have no problems there. But anyways, moving on. So the Nothing Phone 1 launched with Android 12, and it got 3 major software updates. So it's on Android 15 right now with Nothing OS 3.0, and that's going to probably be the final software update that it gets unless Nothing decides to continue support for it. It's totally up to them. But right now, it is currently on Nothing OS 3. The Pixel 8a launched Android 14, and it's getting 7 major Android upgrades. That's something that we do know. So, the Pixel 8a is going to be supported for such a long time. If you're someone that likes to hold on to their phone for quite a length of time. Now, supported in software updates, yes. Supported to gain future features, probably not. So you have to keep that in mind when it comes to the Pixel 8a. With the CMF Phone 1, it's launched Android 14, and we'll get 2 major software updates. So that's going to Android 16. So Android 16 is the cutoff point for the CMF Phone 1. What do I think about an Orbic Myra 5G? Um, I don't know. I can tell you in a little bit. I'll look it up. I mean, I've never touched the phone, never used it, so I really can't give you like a full-on in-depth thought about it. And I'm the type of person who's like, I mean, you could read specs in black and white, but that's still not going to tell the tale. And I'm going to make an example of that in this live stream today as to why. Anyhow, so with the memory, the one that I have is a 256. I have 256, and I believe mine is only 8 gigs of RAM. I don't think it's a 12 gigs of RAM version. With the Pixel 8a, it's a 128 gigs of internal storage with 8 gigabytes of RAM, and then they got a 256 one. That one's a little bit more. The CMF Phone 1 has a 128 and 6 gigs of RAM, 128 and 8 gigs of RAM, and then 256 and 8 gigs of RAM. So those are storage options. What up, Sneed? Camera-wise, the main camera sensor on the Nothing Phone 1 is a 50 megapixel shooter at an f1.9 aperture, 24 millimeter lens, and it's a wide angle lens. You have a 50 megapixel ultra wide f2.2 aperture with 114 degree field of view. That's for the Nothing Phone 1. The Pixel 8a has got a 64 megapixel sensor, and you got I believe it's a 13 megapixel ultra wide. Yeah, it is, with 120 degree field of view there for its cameras. Right, the aperture rating on the main camera sensor is an f1.9 aperture rating. So I would really love for that to have been like a 1.8 to get really more low light shot with the Pixel 8a. But I digress from that. And then the CMF Phone 1 50 megapixel f1.8 aperture wide angle. And then you got a 2 megapixel f2.4 aperture depth sensor. I don't know why they did a depth sensor, but that's okay. I don't know. The CMF phone is a very interesting phone to me, so I'm looking probably in getting that sometime here in the future, here in 2025. Right? So you have these specs here that kind of tell the tale, but here's where it gets like absolutely crazy. Let's see. Yeah, these are all the specs here. Anyways, my experience, and like for people that ask, okay, like lately I've been really kind of just pushing with my Nothing Phone 1. It's an older phone. Yes, it came out in 2022. It's not brand new. You know what I mean? But the experience that I'm having with it is, I guess I wasn't expecting it. Like I was expecting it to be just like Android. I was expecting it to just kind of give the same feel as Pixel, but it's very far from that. It's a very far experience from that. And I'm not talking about the glyph lights in the back that light up. That's not what makes a phone good. Is the little gimmicky things, right? It's been known in the last 4 years. People don't really give a damn about gimmicks. How does the CMF phone compare to regular Nothing? I can't tell you how the CMF phone compares to it as far as experience, because like I said, I don't have the phone. I'm the type of person where I will lay out an experience if I've used it. I could give you a guesstimate of it, and I can say that it's probably close to the Nothing Phone 1, but probably still kind of lacks. CMF is like the very budget friendly of Nothing technology. I mean, the only CMF product I'm using right now that I'm thoroughly enjoying is my my CMF Watch Pro. This watch I've had a fantastic experience with, and it doesn't have Wear OS. It you can't install Facebook app on it or any of that stuff, right? It's got a proprietary software, but it does what I need out of a smartwatch. Gives me the time, gives me my notifications, takes my phone calls, right? I can Bluetooth talk on the watch. It's got little small features like to govern my camera app. I can, use the remote shutter button on the watch to take a photo with the family. It tracks my sleep. It tracks my heart rate. It tracks my oxygen. It tracks all that stuff. And that's all what I really need out of a smartwatch. I don't need to check Facebook on my watch. I'll pull my phone out if I want to look at Facebook or Instagram or any of those social platforms. I mean, I'm not too heavily rooted in it, right? Where my Pixel Watch has those, right? You can install additional apps on my Pixel Watch. It's got Wear OS. I think one of the biggest things is battery life with the CMF watch. I really love the battery life on it because I get literally about 6 days of battery on it, and then I have to throw it on the charger. So like tonight, I'm probably going to charge it up just for good measure to get it up to 100%. And then I can go on my trip to Oklahoma to go see my dad. And I don't have to bring my charger because this watch will last the entire trip going there and coming back. So that's what I really like about that. Now with the CMF Phone 1, I think the reason that I'm going for it is just the subtle quirkiness of it. Nothing kind of just brings an element to it that we have not seen in a very long time. Okay, I'm going to be 43 years old this August. I've been around for a long time. I've seen the evolution of cell phones. I remember the days of Nokia and the flashing batteries, the flashing antennas where it looked like you were holding a dang UFO to your ear to make phone calls, right? Back in the day where Snake was the game to play on mobile phones. You had light up batteries, you had light up antennas, you had light up keypads that, flashed various different colors. Like you would modify your phones that way back in the day, like, late 1990, 2000s, right? Nokia was like up there along with Motorola flip phones. And it's like nothing kind of brings that aspect back to making smartphones fun. But they don't just focus on the gimmicks, right? They give that as an aesthetic. As far as performance, with the Nothing Phone 1 having the Snapdragon 778G, which is a mid-range chip. 700 series chip is a mid-ranger, right? It's not even the 7 Gen 1, which my Moto G Stylus 2024 has. But how well they pay attention to detail, how well they optimize software, that's what really blows me away about Nothing. And I feel like that it's a similar experience with the CMF phone. I feel like that, the details and what they do with software optimization is really up there. And I know that Carl Pei really wanted to make the Nothing Phone like super special when he first launched it. I mean, coming off of being on, on the top person for OnePlus, leaving OnePlus and starting Nothing Technology, and starting off with earbuds at first, the Nothing earbuds, working his way into creating a smartphone, betting it all on himself, right? I've listened to Carl Pei's, on a podcast when he was talking about starting Nothing, and it was such an intriguing story for somebody and what they were attempting to do. And I'm like, why didn't you, start with the US? Why didn't you come here with that first? But I get why. I get why he didn't start with the US, why the United States wasn't his primary focus when Nothing started. They wanted to get things right. Little things, like they listen to a lot of content creators talk about smartphone reviews. They listen to what a lot of, techies, what they say about phones, So like the fact that they took time with the bezels of the Nothing Phone 1 to make it really symmetrical all the way around, right? Making sure that it was even on the top, bottom, left, and right. Didn't do those weirdness like you find with Motorola where like the bezel at the very bottom is like thick, but the sides is thin, and the top is kind of semi-thick. Like they didn't do any weirdness. They made it completely symmetrical all the way around. The box design that they saw that people kind of liked about iPhones, that kind of adopted that into the Nothing Phone. Now, a lot of people kind of look at the Nothing Phone 1 and they're like, oh, it's a absolute ripoff of iPhone. But I mean, come on now. If it is an absolute ripoff of iPhone, you could say the same about the Pixel 5, right? I mean, you could say the same about the Pixel 4. I'm just saying. So, from the build quality and the attention to detail for the build of the device to software optimization, the Nothing Phone 1 does not feel like a mid-range device at all. Like, absolutely not at all does it feel like a mid-range device. And that's what really blows me away about it. And like, I still like Google Pixels. I still use my Pixel 8a. If anyone was still to ask me if a Google Pixel is worth getting, of course it is. It's a very intelligent phone. And that's where, Google Pixel kind of just takes it in this comparison, of my thoughts between a Google Pixel and a Nothing Phone. The Nothing Phone really just kind of like pushes the boundary of Android to make things work and to work fluid. Something that I feel like that Google really needs to pay attention to and really kind of do with the Pixels. Like, don't get me wrong, you know, the Pixel experience on Google Pixels it's fantastic. It's awesome. I like it. But that's mainly due to the intelligent features that the Pixels have, from call screening to, you know, hold for me, find my device, you know, Gemini AI. Like, all those things encompasses, you know, like what Google's primary focus on with artificial intelligence, and at the same time too, delivers an enriched and helpful experience. The thing is that you can adapt that experience from the Pixel onto the Nothing phone. You can easily download Gemini on here and run Gemini. Now, it's not going to be Gemini Nano, which is on the Pixel 8a. It's not going to be on-device AI coupled with cloud AI. Okay, if you download the Gemini app on the Nothing phone, it is strictly cloud AI, but it works. And because it is Android, a lot of the other things, you know, AI kind of weaves its web into it, right? Gmail, Google Drive, YouTube, right? Weaves its way into it. I mean, the way that Gemini is pretty much like, you know, taking it when it comes to the battle of AI and mobile technology. Literally, you could watch someone's YouTube video, or you could have Gemini basically give you a synopsis of the video. And I tried it on my own video and had Gemini basically give me a small synopsis of my YouTube video that I posted. And it was pretty accurate on where my points were. Like, it knew what points I was trying to drive to my audience and made sure that those highlights were in the synopsis as I read it. And I was really taken away by just how intelligent Gemini is. So that was one of the main core points that I would tell people. Google Pixel all the way. You know, smart. You don't really have to always take your phone out for everything. You can voice command things with Gemini to a degree. I mean, it is getting better. There's more things they're going to add into it as they put security measures in place, because AI is very dangerous. It is a very dangerous thing. People need to understand that. So with, you know, with the Nothing phone, with how it performs, I was completely taken back. And, you know, I'll be honest with everybody. When Nothing first launched, I thought this was going to be a fly-by-night phone. So I really didn't take heavy interest in it. I was more of like, okay, another phone brand, you know. Oh, you know, the CEO's Carl Pei, you know, one of the people that was on top with OnePlus. So I thought it was just going to be a regurgitation OnePlus. I thought, like, okay, you know, maybe he had a fallout with Oppo and OnePlus, and maybe he decided to take his business elsewhere and then start his own business. And man, could I have been so wrong? Because that's not initially what Nothing is. It's not another adaptation of OnePlus. It has nothing to do with OnePlus. It didn't do anything of that sort. Nothing really just kind of, you know, wants to keep a small development team so they can primarily focus on bringing a very good smartphone. And honestly, aside from the fact of, you know, that if you're on Verizon, then I wouldn't recommend a Nothing phone because it's not compatible to Verizon's network. But if you're using anything else, AT&T, T-Mobile, you know, then just the overall experience you'll have using the phone, I think you too will be pleasantly surprised on how good it is. And like the deep quintessential thing about Nothing and the Nothing Phone 1, 2, 2A, CMF Phone 1, and the upcoming Nothing Phone 3 that's coming out later this year. One of the things about Nothing OS is that it's not an in-your-face skin. It's not an in-your-face user interface. Okay? It's not, I want to keep you sucked in on the phone, so everything is positioned in the way that just keeps you hooked and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. The way that, you know, Nothing OS looks, you know, it's clean. It's not really in your face. Don't mind my wallpaper. That's an animated wallpaper I got from Zedge. It's pretty cool. I like it. The widgets are not superly in your face. Look, I even have a widget that tells me if I've gone over a lot of time being on my phone. It's like a game for me now. Can I keep my phone happy by not using it so much throughout the day? And when you go over it, like I have mine set to 7 hours. Okay, 7 hours in a 24-hour period. If I've gone over that, I'm using my phone too much, is what I set it at. When I go over 7 hours, the widget turns red, and then the face turns sad. Little small things here that they do, right? I have the widget for the Snake game, the retro Snake game to play Snake on the phone. You got weather widgets and stuff like that. But the cool thing about it is, like I said, it's not really an in-your-face type of thing, so it doesn't try to captivate you to stay on there. They want you to be able to get off your phone and stay in the now. And that's something that I could appreciate. So the Nothing Phone 1 obviously surprised me. It's got my interest in it. The CMF Watch Pro, definitely a banger of a watch, and it's only $69. That's the other thing that freaking blew my mind. Well, I actually got this as a Christmas gift, and when they got it, I saw how much they spent on it. They got it on sale, so that's even better. Like, I'm happy they got it on sale, because I mean, a $70 watch that does everything that I want out of it and is completely just simplistic and minimal, and they got it for 50% off of $70. It's like, that's a go in my book. Like, yes. And you know, big display. I can read it just fine with my old eyes. I'm getting old. And you know, it delivers. It delivers on what I need, what I want, and long-lasting battery. You know, and it doesn't have Wear OS. Totally fine. I ain't crying for it. So nothing CMF has really impressed me. Now, it doesn't mean that, you know, okay, I'm not loyal to Pixels, because I was never loyal to Pixel. I was never loyal. It's what I liked. When I like something, I get excited and I just talk about it and I just share it with everybody. I'm just like, oh yeah, you know, you guys definitely got to check out the Nothing Phone 1. But it doesn't mean that if someone says like, oh, the Nothing Phone is a crappy phone, my experience was totally bad, I'm not going to get hurt and be like, you must be lying. You must not be telling the truth, or you must not be using it right. Everyone has an experience and it's genuine. It's their experience. You can't tell them they're wrong. And everybody looks at certain things from a different angle and a different light. Some people absolutely gotta have like the most powerful phone. Like, there are diehard Galaxy fans, right? Those that are going to be jumping from the Galaxy S24 to the S25 here shortly. And they will take nothing less than what Samsung is offering, because they want all that extra additional power, powerful processor, power image processing, powerful, you know, display, powerful gaming experience, but battery efficiency, you know, super dynamic, powerful camera sensors. Like that's what Galaxy fans love. And no matter what you say, you could talk about the Google Pixels being intelligent. You could talk about, you know, iPhone and iOS. It doesn't matter to them. They want that power. Me, I'm not a person that's seeking massive power. I'm a person that's seeking a great experience. My great experience is a phone that surprises me in every aspect of what it's offering, and it gives a relative smooth experience. And the Nothing Phone 1 has given me that. And because it's given me that, it has piqued my interest in the Nothing Phone 2, the Nothing Phone 2A, the Nothing Phone 2A Plus, the CMF Phone 1, and the upcoming Nothing Phone 3. And maybe if all those deliver me such a fantastic experience, then I may go ahead and try to go for a foldable Nothing device if they make one. The Nothing CMF Phone 1, right? So not the Phone 1, but the CMF Phone 1, which is another mid-range device that's quirky. I like what they were doing with that, and it's just something fun for people to play around with. The Nothing Phone CMF Phone 1 with this removable back where you can buy different backings for it. It gets a tool, a screwdriver tool that you can undo the back yourself and swap out backs and put a new one on there. You can add accessories like a kickstand, the bottom corner, bolt. it's like a thick, not thick, but like a big round button that you can spin, and you could take that off and add like a kickstand one to prop it up, or you can add a lanyard on it to, secure it on your wrist with the lanyard strap to the phone. It's got so many, quirky functionalities to it. Allows you to pretty much feel like you're customizing a modular phone, even though it's not a real modular phone. But it's fun. It brings the fun back into smartphones, which is something that I've missed for a long time, because that's what's missing. That's what's been missing for the past 5 years when it comes to smartphones. They have been regurgitating the same candy bar style phone, same, user interface styles, same features on the user interface, and nothing really fun about it. You look back, the reason why the YouTube space for mobile technology exploded in 2010, 2011, 2012 is because not every phone looked the same. Not every phone provided the same thing. You had phones like the LG Optimus Slide, a budget, kind of mid-range Android smartphone with a slide-out QWERTY keyboard. You had the Samsung Intercept. You had, the HTC One SV. You had, oh man, there were so many different ones. You had the HTC G2, the G1 from HTC. There are so many rare devices. The HTC Evo 3D that allowed you to record and make 3D videos. There was just so much back in the day when it came to smartphones that was fun, right? Like, we didn't really need a 3D camera. We didn't need to make 3D videos for YouTube. It was never really about that. We didn't have to have that. We need new innovation for sure. So many phones now look so similar. Exactly. Now, I know that nothing doesn't absolutely break away from that. It doesn't break away from the standard candy bar style smartphone. But what they're trying to do and what they're kind of teasing with, you can kind of feel it. Like, you ever use a product and you kind of like get what the company's trying to do? That is absolutely nothing in the box right there. What up? Joys of San Joaquin Valley, man. Hope you are safe out there. That's literally what they're doing. And, it wouldn't surprise me, as long as nothing stays in the competition, it doesn't surprise me if like 2, 3, 4 years from now, they come out with something pretty unique. Okay, real quick. This is not advertisement. This is not product placement. But these Tropicana refreshers, the cherry pomegranate, is super delicious. It is crisp, and it is just packed loads of just deliciousness. But yes, Jay, you're absolutely right. We do need new innovations when it comes to smartphones. Smartphones need to be fun again. And that's the thing that we kind of lost. Like, when you look at smartphones, right? This is kind of the reason why when Google decided to ditch the design that they went with the Pixel 4, the Pixel 5, when they brought the visor, the camera visor on the Pixel 6, some people hated it, some people love it. You're sorry about my misfortune. What misfortune? What are you referring to? But when Google changed, I was excited for it, right? Some people thought I was nuts. I mean, yeah, everyone's gonna think the phone looked good or ugly, right? Everyone has an opinion on it. But that wasn't my reasoning. I didn't look at the Google Pixel to say it was the most beautiful design crafted phone ever made. But I was happy when it came with the visor, because they were starting to move away from looking like a very similar smartphone to the iPhone and to every other phone out there, right? You had Motorola that was doing square camera modules. You had the freaking T-Mobile Revel start to look like an iPhone. You had the Solero from Boost Mobile try to look like an iPhone with the square camera module. There's so many square camera modules that the fact that Google went with the visor is why I was happy about that. Why I felt like they did something very good. Why Even though other people were like, it was ugly, it was dumb looking, it was stupid, and I wouldn't sit on the same grounds as they would, because I would take a camera visor that made it look like Geordi LaForge from Star Trek, then another pixel with a square camera module on the upper left corner of the back of the phone. Like, that's just me. When I start seeing, like Samsung, one of the things I like about Samsung is not how powerful the phone is. It's the design of the phones. I love the design of the phones that Samsung is doing, because it's not similar to iPhone. It doesn't look the same as every other thing that's out there. So my thing is like, okay, we got a different design. Cool. You could tell what it is. I can sit across from you at a restaurant and know that you're holding a Samsung Galaxy, or you're holding a Google Pixel, or you're holding an iPhone now. Now I can differentiate an iPhone from somebody with an Android device. I like where things are different. I can celebrate what they all do, because there is one thing that an iPhone, a Samsung Galaxy, a Google Pixel, a Nothing phone, a Motorola, former LG phones, which I hope I can get this LG Stylo 6. I know it's an old phone. I'm trying to grab one, by the way, but just for nostalgic, I want to grab a Stylo 6 and just use it just for the hell of it. But anyways, what they all have in common is that they're smartphones with an operating system that uses apps. They have cameras on them, and they take pictures and record video. You can touch the screen to interact with it. It's got a speaker to listen to music, listen to videos, and, listen to your calls. It's got a microphone for you to talk, so you can talk on your calls. See, that's all the similarities that these smartphones need to have. That's it. As far as design, make something that's elegant, that looks good. The homie Sneed always said that smartphones can't be beautiful. Okay. No, you can't love a smartphone, right? But it can be beautiful. Add to switch that around, right? Shouldn't love a smartphone. Smartphones are smartphones. But the beauty and the craft of it, right? When the engineers take time to develop the smartphone, you could appreciate it, right? The LG Wing. I mean, my God, some people thought that phone was stupid looking. I thought it looked like an ectoplasma reader from Ghostbusters. I mean, that's just me. What was it? It was another LG phone that was it wasn't really a foldable, but you could turn it into a foldable, because the case had an outer display that folded on top of the actual phone. You snap the phone into the case, and then it became a foldable. God, I forgot what it was called. But there's even that phone. So I can appreciate when Nothing is trying to do something a little bit different, right? The glyphs are gimmicky, but it does. You can use it, and it does help out on certain things, right? You can use it for notifications. You can have patterns. If you can memorize your patterns, you can have a pattern set for a specific person. So if it's another call, you can see the pattern. You're like, oh, okay, I know it's not so and so, but so and so. You can have it where like it flashes here, 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 and here, and it just goes in that pattern, and then you can see the pattern and be like, okay, that's so and so calling me. Let me pick up. I also love the fact that it has a little battery indicator, so when I set it down, it'll light up and it'll show you. Hold on, let me plug it in and maybe there it goes. Well, my battery is 100%, but it will show you the battery progress as it's charging, and that to me is like pretty cool too. Yeah, so I'm not saying that Nothing Phone 1 beats Google Pixel 8a. I think I'm over the days of having a phone dominate another phone. I just appreciate a phone for what it can do. So, aside from that, like I said, I was going to talk to you guys about an alternative to TikTok. I know not everybody uses TikTok, and that's totally cool. But there are some people who still do. And if TikTok is inaccessible, they want to have their fix. Now, YouTube is a source that you can go to. YouTube has YouTube Shorts. You can scroll through it like you would TikTok. You can comment on it. You can like it the same way, right? We know about YouTube Shorts. We know about Instagram and Facebook Reels, right? You know, Instagram has that too as well. But if you're wanting something that's like very, very, very close to TikTok, then it would be Clapper. Clapper is a pretty good, pretty good source to kind of go to have a very similar experience. It has short form content that's up to 3 minutes long. That's about as long as it goes, so it doesn't go up to 10 minutes. It goes up to 3 minutes. It's got some it's got some pretty subtle features. So let me show you what it is. And I'm currently active on Clapper. I do have a Clapper account. I do post periodically to Clapper, so it's in the description, I believe. You guys want to follow me on there. But this is Clapper, and yeah, you know, very, very, very similar to TikTok. Very similar to TikTok. You can live stream from it. There is no qualifications needed to be able to live stream to it. If you're a content creator, you can live stream from the jump. And it does have its own crypto. Its crypto is not fully recognized yet, at least from what I know. But it does have monetary cash value, which means that if you're live streaming on Clapper, you can earn money just for live streaming. And you can cash out that money into your bank, you know, once you have a good amount. You can monetize videos, all that good stuff. So it has literally like the same things that TikTok has. No differences at all whatsoever. I enjoy being on there. Like I said, I post daily on there, the same as I, you know, post on YouTube, the same as I post on Instagram or Instagram Reels. And now I guess I'm like looking at their website, and now you can go live with, you know, several friends. So I don't know, maybe I think B-Tech is on Clapper. I'm not sure if he is, but if he is, I'm probably going to probably do like a multi-live one day with him. Just, you know, me and him on Clapper, maybe like, you know, just do like a live and have fun. Because, you know, as a content creator, if you narrow yourself to YouTube and you're expecting, you know, a broader audience, then you only doom yourself at the mercy of the YouTube algorithm. Okay, that is one of the things that people got to understand. So you have to be versatile. You have to be on various platforms, right? Like Radiant Switch Tech. Like, he's here on YouTube. He's also on Instagram. I follow him on Instagram. And if you're not following him on Instagram and you do have the gram, follow him. Because he posts videos on there too. He posts speed tests. He talks real quick about, you know, the various different network companies that, you know, he signed up with and how their network performance is. So the same that you would find on YouTube, you would find on Instagram. And while, yeah, it seems like it's the same type of videos, it's actually not. This is one of the things about content creators. We're a certain way on YouTube. You find us off YouTube, and then you realize there's a difference, you know, to us. We may act, behave, and respond differently to things outside of YouTube. That's because we know how YouTube is. We know how YouTube watches us and everything like that. And so, you know, we play by the rules when it comes to YouTube, right? We follow its rules. And like, yes, Instagram has rules. Clapper has rules. Like, they all have rules, but, you know, they're a little bit more lenient on things, especially Clapper. Instagram is lenient except for like if you have background music. You have the slightest copyrighted background music and they will block your video from anyone seeing it. Which is why when I was active on Instagram, I never really went live from Instagram, because I'm not going to have, you know, a live stream and make a very good point in my live stream, and then the video gets blocked because, like, at the restaurant I'm eating at, they're playing Tears for Fears or they're playing Aha, you know, on the speaker, and it's, you know, it's copyrighted music, right? Especially, you know, for Instagrammers, I never understood about Instagram why they do that when you're not even monetizing your stuff on Instagram. So what the hell's the problem, right? You're not getting paid. There's no ad revenue base being made. Now, unless you are, you know, one of the top influencers on Instagram and all your shit is monetized and you're making tons of money, I can understand them, like, you know, blocking your video if you have copyrighted music in the background. But a nobody like myself, I don't never understood why. So that's why I don't really go live from Instagram, which is funny because if you go live on Facebook, Facebook won't block your live stream, unless the background music is a lot louder than your voice, then they can pick up on that. Maybe you're just trying to, like, low key sneak the music in your live stream and make it about the music and not about what you're saying. Then they will block your video. Clapper doesn't do that. And I'll be going, like, when I'm traveling to Oklahoma, when I'm driving on the interstate and everything. Well, I won't be driving, because we're driving, like, we travel through the night, and I have bad eyes, so I don't see as well as my wife does. She does the driving at night, but I'll be live streaming on Clapper and just chit chatting with people as we're driving on the highway. So, and I'll probably go live on X. But yeah, this this Clapper is an alternative to TikTok for those that really want their TikTok fixed. So, but anyways, yeah, that's pretty much what I got for today. I'm just doing live streams for the rest of this week up until Wednesday. Yeah, just because I got a lot of things to do, so I really don't have time to sit and edit videos. And I do have a it's not relatively a new channel, but it's kind of a new channel, sort of. And what this channel really is like these live streams. Sometimes I don't want people to have to like try and search through the live stream to find a certain point. So I'm actually cutting up these podcasts into smaller segments based on just based on like what the topic is. So anyways, I'm gonna show you guys real quick the channel. I don't know why it does that, but anyways, let me bring the channel up so you guys can see it real quick before I go. And this is the clips channel, right? So clips are starting to come up that I'm starting to post on there. Just for people to kind of go back to and look at. You guys can find specific points that I talked about in the podcast. You'll find it there. So it's going to be more or less just YouTube Shorts. I mean, I did upload like a couple of videos when I first started the channel, but yeah, it's mainly just YouTube Shorts, and it's only going to be YouTube Shorts. And you may find some interesting clips that are there that were not on a podcast. I may just do a quick vlog thing from it. But anyways, yeah, so that's the clips channel. It's all just short segments from the podcast that's going to be shared on there. So if you guys want to subscribe to that, I would surely appreciate it. I'll drop the link right now in the chat, and you guys can subscribe to it if you guys want to. But yep. Anyways, that's pretty much it for today's episode. Oh man, I had to pop my neck. Anyways, yeah, so I gotta get a bunch of other stuff done and get things prepared before I travel in 2 days. Like I said, I'm really excited to be traveling. I miss my dad a lot, so I'm really happy to go see my dad. I'm like super excited, ready to sit down and just have conversations with him. Listen to what he has to say, recharge. Being around my dad, being around my stepmom, allows me to kind of just recharge myself and get ready for the year. Got a lot of cool things happening this year. My wife and I, we made some plans for 2025 to be a great year for us, and I will share that experience. So the clips channel will have clips from the podcast. It'll have regular non-tech vlog shorts, just whatever I find interesting to share that is not really tech related. You guys will find it there. So like I said, you guys should subscribe. Definitely subscribe to that channel. You don't want to miss it. Don't want to miss anything that I post on there. So anyways, that is it for today's episode. If you guys enjoyed it, please give me a solid smash the like button. I truly, truly, truly would appreciate that. Turn on bell notifications so you guys don't miss a video upload or when I go live on this channel. And like I said, if you guys want to try out Helium Mobile, use my promo code in the description when signing up. Use the QR code to get you to the sign up page. That will get you guys your first month for free to try them out. And if you are a fan of Team Nexus or Team Pixel, copy a shirt, hoodie, long sleeve. It's right there. Check out my store here. Get you guys some merch. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all be cool and be safe. I love you guys very much. And as always, Allah.